Happy Fabulous Friday. I hope you all are having an amazing day. If it's not Friday when you see this video, whatever day of the week it is still a fabulous day. I just wanted to come on today and just share a word that I received today. Again, I wasn't expecting it, but I wanted to share some information that I received, a word from the Lord. You know, throughout our life experiences, the Lord will teach us some things, and when things happen, I try to say, okay, Lord, what is this all about? What is this all about? And I was led to speak on shifting, the word shift. And the Lord had been dealing with me for quite some time about having to shift. And, you know, I often talk about moving to the next level. As the previous video talking about, there is greater ahead. I hope you guys, if you haven't looked at it, please check it out. I hope you believe that greater is ahead. You have to expect for what is to come. But I wanted to talk about shift, and I looked up the word shift, and it means to put aside, to replace, to change, to exchange, to transfer one's position, place, or person. Those who, I don't know how to drive a stick, but those who do know how to drive a stick, I've rode with different people, and they have to, you know, change those gears. They have to shift those gears, moving to a higher level, or you have to drop it down when you want to slow down. I don't know all about it, but anyway, nevertheless, there is shifts. There's a change. When there's a shift, there's a change. Sometimes there's detours. You have to go a different direction. You know, here in my area, they're doing a lot of construction, especially on the highway. They're building left and right. Detours here. They're closing this road. You're going down the road, one of our highways that I travel all the time. I never forget, on the way home, it was nighttime. My husband had went on, we would follow each other, but he went out. It was nighttime, and it was an exit that I took. It was a new exit because, again, they're changing things. So I took an exit, and it was a dark exit. It was a dark road. It was a road. Y'all have ever heard of that? The road less traveled. Okay, this was an exit that I thought that I was taking the right exit, and it was going to take me to where I needed to go. However, I took the wrong exit. And it was where, again, they're building a highway, so it was full of dirt and everything. It was dark, it was no lights, and I'm like calling my husband like, honey, I don't know what to do. You know, I was actually at a place where I was nervous, and I was driving up, and I was like, oh no, it's a little spooky over here. And, you know, I'm like hoping that people going on the highway will see this one car that just had some lights on sitting there. But I had to make a decision. So there was a road that I normally travel, but because they made changes, they changed the route. So it was different. Again, I had to try to figure out some things. And then it was a bridge. It was like, Lord, I don't know if I need to go over that bridge because I really don't know what's there. I don't know what the end is going to be, you know. So I'm like, I don't know if the bridge is complete. I don't know. It was dark. It was a dark place. I won't even going to talk about that part of it, but nevertheless, I had to make a decision. Either I'm going to stay here in the middle of nowhere, or I'm going to take a chance to see what's on the other side. And nevertheless, I took that path. And my husband was saying, well, just drive, you know, through it. Or what he was saying was, go back the way you came. And I'm like, I don't think I can go back that way because cars will be coming that way. It's dark. I can't see. So I did go back up. But then at that point, I didn't know what to do because, again, I didn't know. And then they had one of those, you know how you have, what got me, you have one of those circles. It's that you don't know which way you're going to go, but you just follow the path. But nevertheless, to make a long story short, I crossed over through where I was, and I made it to the other side. To God be the glory. But he taught me some lessons, you know. I learned a lot in that. Be more aware. But when you're traveling and they're during construction and it's dark, be more aware. I would say just take an exit that has lights and just drive the long way around. But anyway, that was the point that I was saying. It's a detour. There's detours. So with the construction, they have changed the whole route. You know, so a path that you were normally used to, and that will cause you to get out of your comfort zone, because now you have to go a whole nother route that you don't really know the direction. You know left and right. This is the way I travel every day. I know this like the back and front of my hand. But when they make changes, you have to know what to do. You have to know how to shift. Number one, the Lord was saying, trust me, I got you. So a lot of times when we don't understand certain things, we need to trust the Lord. But the message came this morning because when I was leaving to take my children, our children, to school, I have two high schoolers. They both go to two different schools. So one has to be there at 9 o'clock and one has to be there at 9:15. So we usually leave a little bit early. But that's why I tell my children, I said, that's why we have to allow time, because we never know what's going to happen. But anyway, I'm trying to make this quick. I was traveling down out the back road, and I said, you know what? I like this because there's not many cars on the road, so it's usually smooth. You don't really have to worry about traffic being backed up or anything. But little did I know, once I went on and turned that corner and made that left-hand turn, and traffic was stopped. I don't know. I think it was an accident or something that had happened, but it was stopped there. I did see, I think, the fire truck and different things down. But here I am. I have to get my two kids to school and try to get them there on time. So I had to make a decision. Okay, am I going to sit here in the traffic and wait and hope that it's going to move so we can get to school? But the traffic wasn't moving. So, okay, I had to make a decision. I had to shift. I had to change what I was normally accustomed to. So I saw another van. He did a U-turn. And so he turned, and I said, you know what? I'm going to turn too. So I turned around and had to go a whole nother route to get there. Again, I'm trying to get there on time. So I went the other route, and I'm like, man, seems like traffic is slow this way too. You know, so I'm standing there, I'm sitting, waiting to get to the light, and I'm like, okay, Lord, now, should I go right or should I go left? Because either way, you know, will get us there, but it's going to take us a little bit longer. So I said, okay, so if I go right, I'll be meeting up to where I was going to meet up going the back way. And so I went right, and I'm still looking. I'm saying, look at the time. You know, I don't want you to be late. I don't want neither one of you to be late. Time is ticking. We're behind. And my son is like, Mom, it's okay. What you think they're going to do? Lock me up for, he was being smart, lock me up for 100 years or so? I'm like, no, but I don't want you to be being late for school, being tardy. But, you know, things happen that's beyond our control. And so, you know, sometimes trying to live a life that does everything right, it can sometimes become overwhelming, because when things like this happen, you don't understand and you're just beat up on yourself. And it just basically throws you off. Excuse me here. Okay. And so sometimes it's okay. I had to learn that. I had to learn that it is okay to make a mistake. It is okay. You don't have to get it all the time, always right. Because that is how I was able to grow. I was able to just grow out of my comfort zone. But nevertheless, I had to learn to shift this morning. I had to do some things that I normally don't do. I had to go some routes that I normally don't take, and I had to learn to trust the Lord. You know, sometimes we're in a hurry. We can't rush the car ahead of us. And we don't know. I don't know. Or whenever a situation like that happens, we need to think that maybe something had happened down the road, that if you was a little bit ahead of time, it might have been you. So sometimes in life, God will cause things to happen to us. It seems bad, but God will always turn it around for our good. He knows what's ahead. So sometimes we just have to endure, because if we can't change it, hey, I couldn't change the fact that the traffic was backed up. I couldn't change the fact that I had went down an exit that put me in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't change that. But what I had to do was I had to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. So sometimes, well, the majority of times in life, we have to make a decision. When things don't go the way that we planned them to go, then we have to think, what is the next step? What is the next plan? There were many ways for me to get to where I had to go today. There were many ways, and I hope my son made it. My daughter should have made it, on time. Had 5 minutes to get her there, but nevertheless, those are the things that happens in life that we don't have any control over. So I could have stayed there at that point and said, you know what? Well, I'm just going to stay here and wait and see how long it takes for them to move this traffic. Or no. Okay, I had to so sometimes in life we have to make a quick decision. I had to make a quick decision. Let me turn this car around and let me go a different route. Even though that different route put me out a little bit, and still traffic was still not moving the way that I was hoping that it would move, I made a decision. Because I could have still been sitting in that spot. Then I said, when I got to, I said, well, they probably had done opened up and the cars had went on or whatever. Nevertheless, it could have, or it could have been that the cars were just still sitting back where they were. But I made a decision to shift. There's many detours in life that we may have to take. But we have to keep moving. We have to keep growing. We have to keep going. Don't stop. We cannot afford to stop. We have to, during a shifting period, you have to feel the way. You don't know. You have to step out in faith. We have to step out in faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. We don't see it, but we hope for it. We hope for a great outcome. I hoped and had faith after I pondered a while whether I was going to go across that bridge and not know what was on the other side, but I had faith to believe, to know that, hey, whatever's on the other side, it is well with my soul. We have to know that whatever's on the other side, it is well. It is well. It's gonna be okay. And it made me think about, sometimes we have to take chances. I always try to tell my son, now it's a few kinds of chances that you just don't want to take. Sometimes people take foolish chances with their lives. You see people just jumping off of buildings. I'm not talking about that kind of chance. No. But taking a chance to, whether you're stepping out on faith to your ability to grow or to have success or to choose that next level in the career that you want. Again, I'm still working on. I'm a Mary Kay Independent Beauty Consultant. I'm also CEO of my nonprofit organization. I'm the founder of my nonprofit organization, Anointed Touch Restorational Services, but I am also the CEO of the Masterpiece of Hope Communications LLC, where I'm able to hire others to work from home. But anyway, all of these, I'm looking to go to the next level. But taking a chance in that way is okay, because it's not going to be life or death. And that's what I mean. So some things that is not life or death, then it's okay to make a decision. You got to make a decision. You got to shift. But my time is growing now, because You might not want to keep listening to me if I keep talking too much longer, but I do want to share something that came to me a little bit later. I was in there and I was watching the news, and I was just stunned by what I had heard. Another man, they indicted him or something on with the president lying to Congress. And so that right there, I was like, oh my goodness, it's just so much going on. And then they had up all of the advisories that also had previously followed suit. And I'm like, Lord, it's just so much going on in the world that we definitely have to put our trust in the Lord. These people that are in high places, that we don't think that these things will happen. And it seems like it's no big deal. Some of the things that they did don't seem like it was a big deal when they were doing it, but it was really a big deal. But the Lord led me to Psalms 37:4 that states, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb." So that's letting us know that God sees everything that's going on. There is nothing that is getting beyond the eyes of the Lord. And so whatever we do in life, it's going to come back to us. So we need to be mindful of what road we do take, because there are consequences to the roads that we take or the choices that we make. So yes, I'm saying make choices, but think things through. And sometimes you do have to make a quick decision, but think things through, because you always need to think about the what if. And at the end of the day, if that thing that you are thinking about doing will cause you your life or cause you to lose or to have prison time and things like that we don't think about, because things that we do in life, it will come back around to us. But I just wanted to give that word, because a lot of times we wonder, how is these people that are doing wrong still being successful? Lord, that doesn't seem like it's right. I do everything right, but it seems like I'm not successful as the ones that's doing things the wrong way. But again, the word of God say, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb." I just want to leave that word with you. But again, it is time to shift. Sometimes in life may not go the way that we planned it to go. It happens. But we can't stay there. We can't wallow there. We have to make a decision to shift and to move. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Continue to have a fabulous Friday, but be blessed.